Right now, there are 39 of you subscribed to this channel. In the vast landscape of the internet, it's easy to look at that number as statistically small. But 39 people deciding to give a piece of their attention and promising to come back is a monumental foundation. You are part of the absolute beginning. This particular beginning arrives at a strange moment in the cultural cycle. We are watching huge pieces of the 2000s resurgence return to the mainstream. The Jonas Brothers are back in their burning up era, Evanescence is releasing new music, and the specific, emotionally charged alternative aesthetic many of us grew up with is bubbling back to the surface. This cultural loop matters because those icons defined the era when I first started filling notebooks with stories. Seeing that energy return makes it easier to look back at my own 7-year journey and see how the roots of my creative life are finally coming full circle. I often think about the teenager who started all of this. I still grieve those early notebooks that got ruined by the rain. I'd love to read those stories again. The dialogue was likely terrible, and the fan fiction was undeniably cringy, but that messy work was essential practice. It was the daily process of building a relationship with storytelling. And I'm keeping my word to that younger version of myself. You are getting that triquetra necklace by graduation, just like we planned. To survive as a writer, you have to manage a constant internal tension. Part of me is the dreaming Leo creator who expects instant recognition. The other part is the practical Virgo planner, tapping a pen against a spreadsheet and asking for a realistic schedule. Holding on to the magic of childhood imagination is a start, but a sustainable career requires learning how to navigate the structural realities of the real world. To be clear, I am not an agent, a lawyer, or an editor. This survival guide was created through 7 years of trial and error. It is the map I drew while completely lost in the dark. The first thing that map reveals is that the common industry timelines are largely myths. Achieving success by 22 is a great social media headline, but publishing your debut in your 30s or 40s is a standard, valid path. I've learned to view traditional, indie, and hybrid publishing as logistical tools rather than conflicting ideologies. You simply choose the one that serves your book and your current season of life. Along the way, you might find yourself switching genres or changing your pen name 3 times. These shifts are the structural bridges that eventually lead you to your actual voice. Finding that voice leads to the unglamorous side of the work. Being a professional author requires you to master marketing, pitching, interior formatting, and financial tracking. There is a valid place for both art and commerce. You can decide your primary goal is financial success or choose to ignore the money entirely. However, you must account for the extreme subjectivity of the industry. One professional may love your manuscript, while another finds it unreadable. This unpredictability makes guaranteeing a financial outcome impossible. Since you cannot control an audience's taste, your only option is to focus on controllable factors: the quality of your craft, your professionalism, and your continuous learning. Mastering the business side of writing provides a necessary buffer. These spreadsheets and systems are what protect your creative work from being crushed by the volatility of the market. Even with those systems in place, you cannot sustain this career in a vacuum. Longevity in this industry depends on community and collaboration. Digital connections are a significant part of that support. The readers, classmates, and friends who understand the emotional toll of writing a novel are a very real, vital community. You need these people. Finding a creative partner and leaning on others is the most effective way to navigate the periods of burnout that come with the job. The image of the isolated, lone genius author is a widespread myth. In reality, a long-term writing career is built on external support and shared experience. This is the philosophy behind Romantasy and Routine. I've realized I don't have to choose between the magic of the story and the structure of the business. I need both to keep creating. The author name Guinevere Atlas is anchored by the real life of Kimeisha, a neurodivergent, disabled author from New York who spent years figuring out how to make this work. The last 7 years of rejections, pen names, and late-night edits aren't isolated events. They connect to form one integrated life. 7 years of writing has taught me that becoming an author is less about reaching a final destination and more about the decision to keep showing up every day. Each of the 7 lessons I've touched on today will become a separate, deep dive episode in the upcoming 7 Sisters series. If you want to see how those details come together, I invite you to subscribe or visit the blog. The door is open. Let's see what we write.